And so it's going to look like this. 2, 1, vertex. Oh, my A is positive. Opens to the right. The 3 is the A, yes. And I'm not going to require you to get the C on this one. But C is 1 over 4A, so, and A is 1 over 4C, so. Pardon me? The one for the C? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I knew in the beginning this was a parabola. How did I know in the beginning this was a parabola? Because we have a y squared and no x squared. That meant it was a parabola. I still had to do all the work, but that helped me figure out which conic section it was. Okay, we'll do a different conic section now. For example, x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 6y equals 4. Sorry. Plus 4 equals 0. Do the one I want. Okay. Step number 1, move the constant to the right. And I get x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 6y equals negative 4. Step number 2, organize x's and y's. Put the negative 4x with the x squared. Put the negative 6y next to the y squared. Equals negative 4. Step number 3, factor out any coefficients for the x squared or the y squared. I don't have a coefficient on the x squared. The coefficient is 1 for x squared and both x squared and y squared. So I don't have to do step 3. Step number 4, complete the square. Okay. For completing the square, I take my x squared minus my 4x, and that becomes x. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. So this becomes x minus 2 squared. But x squared minus 4x is, x minus 2 squared is x squared minus 4x plus negative 2 squared. Add that to both sides. Plus y squared minus 6y becomes y minus half of 6 squared. Y minus 3 squared is y squared minus 6y plus 3 squared plus 9. Add that to both sides, equal sign. Yes, ma'am? Okay. Add all these 3 up on the right and you get 9. What is this conic section? What is it? It's a circle. It is an ellipse. A circle is an ellipse. But this one is a circle. The center of this circle is at 2, 3. And its radius, square root of 9, which is 3. So let me make a little sketch of my graph. Over 2, up 3. There's my center. My radius is 3, so I'll go up 3. I'll go down 3. I'll go left 3. I'll go right 3. And I can make a decent sketch of my circle. I knew in the very beginning this was a circle because I have x squared and y squared, and the coefficient for the x squared and y squared are the same. They don't have to both be 1, but if they're both the same, I get a circle. The coefficient for the x squared and y squared are the same. So now I know I have a circle. Four x plus 4y would give me a circle. 4x plus y is going to give me something else. That one we'll do next. And my example is 4x squared plus y squared. Okay. Hey, you're not done being confused yet. Just wait.
Yay.
Yeah. All right. Next example. So we have 4 conic sections. So I'm going to do an example of each one. Okay? Because now they start getting hard.
How many of these are going to be on the exam?
2. Plus y squared plus 16x minus 6y equals -9. Oh, what's the motivation for this? Well, at least 3/4 of you are going to take pre-calculus next year, and this is something you have to know for pre-calculus. You have to be able to do this for pre-calculus. So if you're not ever going to take any further math than this, then I don't think you're going to need it. But you never know what your future is. You may actually use math in your future. So not all of you will, but some of you will.
Where do they teach applied math?
Where do they teach applied math?
Or do they not?
I think they've been teaching you. You actually have applied math since you were in 1st grade. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. Step number 1. Move the constant to the right. Oh, I've already done that. It's already there. Step number 2. Organize your x and x squared and y squared. So I'll call that organize. Okay. So I got 4x squared plus 16x plus y squared minus 6y equals -9. Step number 3. I got a coefficient on the x squared I have to factor out. Factor out coefficients. So this becomes 4 times x squared plus 16x. Don't factor out the x, just the 4. Plus y squared minus 6y equals -9. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you pick up the 4
Oh, thank you. Yes, you did understand what was going on. There we go. 4 times 4x is 16. Thank you. You're right. Don't factor out the x. Just factor out the coefficient. Because you can't complete the square if you factor out the x's. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes. No, just the y's. You separate the x's from the y's. All right. Now we'll complete the square. X squared plus 4x is x plus half of 4, 2,